Hello and welcome to What's Your Story? I have another very interesting guest for you today. She's actually in Brisbane, Australia, and she is a feminine empowerment coach and a youth empowerment mentor with a master's degree in education specializing in the arts. And over 35 years in the creative arts, dance, and drama, champions holistic education, and her passion lies in guiding generations, emphasizing mastering feminine and masculine energy to unlock magnetic potential and unleash the creative essence within. Now, she sounds like she's really interesting, doesn't she? So, welcome, Marie Ferguson from Brisbane, or Australia. Are you
Hi,
there? Hi.
everybody. Thanks. Yes. Hi, Judy. How are you? Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, we're so delighted to have you. But I've got so many questions for you. I don't know what a feminine empowerment coach is. Could you explain that to us?
Yeah, it's a beautiful question. I feel like in this day, we talk a lot about energy, understanding we hear yin and yang, opposites of how we manage, our energy in not only in our body in our daily lives, but we also have within us feminine and masculine energy. And so we look at ancient and traditions. We can talk about the essence of the feminine energy being like your expression, your creativity, the intuitive side, the nurturing side within us. And both men and women can have that feminine energy. And our masculine energy is that aligned action we take when doing the things we're going to say we're going to do. The practical side, the strength, that the warrior side within us as well. So, I found in my life being a teacher for 16 years that I was heavily in my masculine side. Even though I was in the creative arts and nurturing teenagers, I was always on the go, doing. And I found myself burning out and not being in balance. So back to understanding my body, my soul, the energy flow within me, and restoring that feminine essence has now made the masculine side within enhanced. So it was a real beautiful coming back body and the wisdom within, and this beautiful understanding of that energetics within my body, within how I interact with others, and in
That's amazing. What was the catalyst that shifted your sense of direction?
yeah, it was interestingly when I was talking to my husband and we were talking about expanding our family, and we've got one beautiful daughter who is almost 8, and doing the thing, buying the house and getting the job and all the things that society and people expect of you to do. The next step for us was to have another child. And so I'm going to share something really vulnerable here in your audience. And it was going through miscarriage. We had 3 miscarriages back to back in a 9-month frame that really reset my whole nervous system, took me to the rabbit hole of just despair, darkness, anxiety, depression, and a real shedding of these expectations, and trying to find myself again in that was really hard. And in that sort of, hitting rock bottom, and emotionally, physically, spiritually, like my whole body was screaming for something, for me to stop, for me to listen, for me to just find some stillness and go deeper within. And it was this going into like understanding why I was feeling this way, understanding my emotional intelligence, understanding the trauma that I went through, and really diving deep into what grief is, what trauma is, what rage is, and to feel these emotions come up that I had suppressed and pushed down, not only for myself, but what felt like for all women at times when I would feel this depth of emotion, and coming back into who I am as a woman, as Marie, not just the mother, but allowing myself to come back, knowing all of me, was a big catalyst that led me down this path.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, why is it that self love and compassion is so important?
Oh, it's so beautiful layer of understanding like what love is, and this whole existence here is the lessons in love. And I find for myself and my journey that I would give so much to everybody else and would forget about me. And in forgetting about me, I became drained, and I've been, this shell of a person that didn't love myself. And every time I'd look in the mirror, every time when I was going through this transition, I would even look at my cycle and hope and pray that I was going to have another baby. I feel so much shame and disappointment and this sense of brokenness within me that in my heart, this is not okay. I don't want my daughter to grow up seeing this or to feel this. And it was like all these young women that I taught, I would share this piece of like, be confident and do the things you love. And I wasn't doing that for myself. And it was this real deep through the of others and through that devotion to self to come back to, well, if the longest relationship anyone's going to have is with themselves. And I just really went down the path of honoring and devoting, like loving my whole body, my energy, even those emotional parts where we get triggered, and like love stretch, and having my husband and my family and the people that I work with see that authenticity and loving that. And if more of us do that, then this world is going to be a better place. So I think coming back to self first is so, so, so important, because then we get to lead from the heart and we get to lead from this place, and it just then exudes out tenfold.
Don't you feel that a lot of women suffer from this I'm not enough syndrome?
Yeah, I agree. And there was a part of me that would see it and would talk about it, and on the surface, like just touch it on this level, but allowing ourselves to go deeper and to look other women in the eyes, look ourselves in the eyes in the mirror, and shift that whole mindset. There was a time where I would say, I am capable, I am enough, I am beautiful in the mirror. And I didn't believe it. And I had around me telling me, and it was this inner battle that I was having internally. And so in that devotion to loving myself, I would actually look my beautiful eyes in the mirror and just keep telling me these beautiful affirmations and these devotions, and actually acknowledge and declare it. It was like a declaration to declare that
Yes,
to myself, because
yes.
then that shifted my mindset. And I think if more of us do that, not just in our own minds, but share it and celebrate and say, like, Judy, you are so beautiful and inspirational. And this celebration that is felt, oh my goodness, then those not enough feelings just fade away. This background, but you put that in the back seat and know how freaking powerful we are, amazing and beautiful, and like this essence and this feeling of honoring that. Oh, that's what I live for, and share in how I embody that in the women I see, in the young people, in my parenting, in the way that I love my family. Like, yeah, we are enough.
We are. You do something called womb work, and I want to know what womb work is. I'm having trouble with those words. Why womb work is important, and understanding that our body wisdom is also an important pillar. I'd like you to explain that because I haven't heard that before. Womb work.
Yeah, thank you. I came across that term in my healing journey, and I also have a Filipino mother, so there is a shamanistic medicine woman side within my family lineage, and something I reject a long time. And coming into places with women, coming into sisterhood, understanding what self-love, what our body and energy system is, and also our cycles, was a lot of unveiling of, I suppose, ancient and old ways of understanding how our body works. Back to the womb, like if we think about it, the womb is the place of all creation in regards to existence here. Like as things, both man, woman, children are born from the womb. In order for soul, spirit to come through in the physical, like the womb is the place of creation. And so looking at ancient mysteries and teachings from around the world, a lot of practices of coming back to understanding our menstrual cycles, these rites of passage that we go through, particularly as women, standing like our hormone levels and how our bodies change, the power of the energy that flows within our cycles is something that really enlightened me to the meaning of our womb space, our yonis, so our vaginas as well, and that interconnectedness and groundedness of our creative sexual life force energy. So in being able to work with the womb, and for me in particular, going through miscarriage, I had to form a relationship with my body. And if the science tells us that our body is listening, and our cells and our brain cells and our heart cells are all of and listening, then something in me clicked within, and I was like, you're right, I need to love all of my body, my womb, and love my cycle, and talk to myself and actually treat temple. So a lot of work in regards to energy. So if we think about energy, it's energy in motion, and our emotions as well, energy in motion, and our emotional spaces not only linked to our nervous system, but also like the flow of energy. And our nervous system is also linked to our womb and to our yoni. There's a vagus nerve that stems all the way from here, from our amygdala in the back of our ears here, and is a wandering nerve that every part of our organs in our body and our womb space and ease as well, and that sense of pleasure and pain that we feel as beings in online. And this is how we experience the world. And as when we suppress a lot of our emotions in our hips, in our womb. And so when I was going through my healing processes of looking at acupuncture, qigong, meditation, grounded work, a lot of it had to come back to this space and ground a lot of that energy. And in doing that, it unlocked a lot of creativity, this magnetism within me, which then also unlocked my ability to speak and communicate more expressively. And interestingly, our yonis, our vaginas, if we look at the shape of it, are the same shape as our vocal cords. And so as women, when we unlock that part of ourselves and ground into it, it's amazing to see what else is unleashed in regards to our expressiveness and our power to speak, feel in the world.
So, Marie, how do you hope to empower women and girls in your community?
That's a beautiful question. Just even with that knowledge and that wisdom, working with us and mums in the work I do, just sharing some of that those insights and strategies, like through the movement, through opening up our perception and our lens of how we can look at our energy and our flow and our cycles as women, because we are cyclical beings, and not just with our flow, but also we're looking at nature around us is cyclical of seasons, and we look at how the medicine of the world around us also impacts our flow and our energy, and how we embody that in our voice, in our relationships, in our daily lives is something that I love to share with women, and not only the knowledge, but practical strategies, and also just through story and expression that allows that meant to be felt in their experience. So through the arts, through creativity, through dance, through drama, and to bring this lens of, well, what if we thought about it this way? What if we treated our bodies this way, and we thought about our relationships in this way? And just shifting that lens, that mindset, and having fun with it as well, and play, and to allow that creativity to come out, I think is really important. And so when I work with young girls, teenagers, a lot of it is in that play and curiosity, and then sharing that wisdom. And yeah, with mums, a lot of it also, I found breath work a really beautiful practice to allow the nervous system that I spoke about to really reset, and allow the body
Mm-hmm.
and the breath to come online, and to help us feel it. You know.
I find that in the United States, we have a lot of young women who really hate their bodies. They don't understand what's going on, and they don't like it. Is that something that happens in Australia as well, or is that more of an American thing?
I think it's definitely around the world, mindset piece. And when we look at teenagers, they're going through a process called menarche or menarche. And that process, a lot of hormones are shifting. Developmentally, when we look at the cognitive, the social, emotional well-being of teenagers, and that ability, particularly for girls wanting to fit in and feel a tribe and feel connected, a lot of chemical pieces are at play, energy in regards to hormones and emotions are also at play. And so, yeah, in my experience, I've seen a lot of young people, myself, you know, going through the not good enough, perfect, or they're going to accept me, they're going to judge me. And these parts of our experience as humans is not just for girls. All of us go through this. But I feel creating more dialogue and safe spaces where we can notice our mindset and create places of celebration, and really create that sense of safety, young women to feel confidence at an earlier age. My goodness, seeing young, beautiful, confident women in school settings that I've been in that are just exceptional, and the way that they then present themselves, not only with their peers and friendship groups, but when I sat in the community, it's phenomenal. And yeah, I feel like it's not just, parents are the first teacher, of course. So if we're educating and embodying and modeling in our family home and structure,
Mhm,
that is
mhm.
key. But then also in schooling, in creating safe spaces where they can try different things out and create opportunities like you have on these platforms where mums can listen in, or dads even, to support their partners and their daughters. That this is an opportunity where we can also and create safe spaces to talk about trauma or things that are taboo or things that are a little bit left of field, with that logic, but also with that really felt, authentic piece of, well, if we don't shift these mindset pieces now, we can only imagine what there's going to move into. But if we can inspire change and allow ourselves as the adults, as the leaders, as the pillars of light in our community, to be the role models and shift our mindset and understand and expand that, our young people are going to be thriving. And that's the fit I want to see for my daughter, that I'm creating now, and people are doing this around the world. That is going to be really beautiful. And the I think of the young people and the teens and the children, they're my inspiration for me to be a better role model, a person, and a leader.
You're going to be speaking in March at the International Women Thrive Summit. You're one of 50 women that were selected from around the world to speak there. Will you be talking on this subject? What will you be speaking about?
Oh, yeah, so I'll be, and it's very exciting to be on that platform with yourself and all of the other amazing women. And I am going to be about this same concept of how we claim our crowns and bring that divine and essence into our leadership. And
Mm.
I know through my journey, I was like, I'm going to like own my life. I'm going to be the queen of my life, into how I show that leadership in my relationships, in my mothering, in the way that I communicate and work with people, in how I'm leading my business, and how to embody that, and like have all of those facets balanced or in harmony in my life, is about self mastery, and about mastering our emotions, about mastering understanding self, so that we can actually live it and be it instead of talking about it. And so, how we do that to remagnetize and come back to our body, and this body is the one that spirit, soul, whatever you want to call it, that essence is residing in. And this vehicle, our beautiful bodies, has wisdom in it, and has knowledge and has felt experience that is so, so powerful. And so, as women, when we can shed away those limiting beliefs of shame and not good enough and worthy, and actually own our worth and step into the power of balancing and owning that feminine, and that feminine energy is different from being male. It's not about male or female. It's not about polarizing those parts, but in coming back to that wholeness, it's to understand what these energies are and how we can integrate that into our body, into our relationships, into how we just get to be in this life. And I'm going to be sharing some beautiful tools and tips to go deeper into that.
Well, you certainly are an interesting person. I'm totally learning all kinds of new things from you all the time. I've so enjoyed our relationship through the Women Thrive organization this year, because I feel like I've learned so much from you as we go on. What do you what do you hope to leave behind? What is going to be your legacy?
Mm. I love that word legacy. And I touched on it a little bit earlier. Like, there's only a certain, we've got all the time, but we also on this earth. And I want my daughter to go through life having that sense of empowerment and understanding of her body, that when she's shift something, knowing that she's grounded, that she is worthy, and all the young women and men that I have taught to be able to hold each other in that sacredness. You know, I think about the young people that get to inherit this earth, and they get to, and changing that mindset for the people here now, the women, the men, to become more conscious and intentional through understanding our actions, our emotions, our energy, our feelings in a really grounded, embodied way. Like, I want people around me to feel that. I want the children and the youth to know how powerful and special and wonderful they are. They're not, you know, they are unique. They are their own energy, but they're also gifts. That we're all gifts here to each other, to the earth. So how do we be the walking blessing? How do we be the gifts to each other? And that's that questioning of that concept is how I choose to embody each day. And I want the young people and the people around me to feel that, and for them to choose to be the gift, because it is a choice and we have the choice to decide. So how do we get to be the gift, the walking blessing, and embody all of this? So that's the legacy, a really felt legacy that I want to leave behind.
Well, you recently wrote an article for our Choices magazine, and so I want to let the audience out there know that they can read your article in Choices magazine, and I will put up the URL where they can go and get a copy of that magazine and read it. But also, is there a website where people can reach you, or a way that people can contact you if they'd like to know more about you and what you do?
Yeah, beautiful. A lot of people can find me on Facebook under Marie Ferguson. And I do have a beautiful website with a free mini course as well. So it's www.menarche, MENARCHE project.com. And there is a free short course on there that looks at a lot of embodied practices. There's free breath works on there. There's a little bit of qigong movement, and delving into some of these teachings and ancient wisdoms that I have gathered along the way, that I share through storytelling and through authenticity and practical tools that you can embody and try out at home as well. So feel free to connect with me. I love making new friends, and happy to share more insights if you're interested of going deeper into this understanding.
Wonderful. Thank you, Marie. It's certainly been fabulous to have you as a guest today. I've really enjoyed you being here. I appreciate you doing it. I know it's very early in the morning where you are, so I know you had to get up and get ready. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Judy, and look forward to hearing more from you soon.
Yes, most definitely. And we want more articles from you for the magazine as well. We loved your article. And thank you for joining us. This has been a wonderful time with Marie Ferguson from Brisbane, Australia. And we thank you for being here. And if you are a woman entrepreneur and you have a story you'd like to share, just contact me here at WWDBTV. Thank you. Bye-bye.